Hello, this is Chuck Martin. I'm here at the AI Summit London, and I'm happy to say I've got with me here Ben Diaz, the Data Science and Analytics Director of EasyJet. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you, Chuck. Good to be back here.
So the world is going crazy right now with ChatGPT and generative AI. Put some context and perspective to this.
Yeah, it's interesting. So ChatGPT was really good to bring AI to life for everybody, because it used to be something done in a
Just you,
dark room.
people like you knew about.
Yeah, the clever people just building models and testing them. Suddenly it became real. There was actually a use case that everyone could use it for. And it suddenly made it kind of exciting and real, and so people start thinking about, what else can I use it for? What else can I use it for? That's how the hype has kind of kicked off, I think.
So how did the world get over the hype?
You have to figure out the use cases that make business value, basically. I mean, just having a chatbot that has access to the internet, what's the use? So you have to think about, how can I make this useful to my people or my customers? For example, if they need to talk to your customer service center, that could be a really interesting interface where they can have a chat with a ChatGPT-like interface instead of having to wait for a human to come online.
So how would you use how would EasyJet use generative AI, if at all?
So we are starting to look at where the use cases are going to be, and so we're looking at multiple places. So it could be summarizing documents, it could be helping Q&A type activities, and what I'm most excited about is how can it help people interact with data using natural language, because that then opens up, democratizes data to everybody.
So in general, do you see ChatGPT or that kind of technology being a lot customer facing or more internal use at a company?
Both, I think, and the customer facing ones are probably easier and they'll come quicker, because there are companies actively building solutions like that we could just buy off the shelf. But the internal ones will be harder, because they'll take a bit more time to figure out, because natural language to natural language is easier, but natural language to data is harder, so we have to train them a bit more.
So in the past, we've talked about EasyJet being a data-driven airline. Yep. Why is that?
Well, the best reason I can find is when I joined EasyJet and asked our CEO, Johan, why is this? Why do we want to be the world's data-driven airline? He said, if we don't get data right, we won't exist as a company in 5 years' time. And he was right, because if you don't get the data right, your competitors will get it right, and the customers will be looking for more things from you which you can't provide. And so your company will not exist, basically. And so it's an existential threat, if you like, if you don't do data properly.
So with AI, because it's moving fast and it's complex, how do you look at short-term and long-term in terms of vision? Yeah,
so that's a very good question, because the vision people have, what even ChatGPT can do, is not real, because it can't do everything. It's not going to take away your job so you can go off on holiday and sit on the beach every day. It's about learning how to train these things to do what they can do best and what people can do best, and collaborating. So what I'm trying to build is an AI assistant for people in EasyJet. So it's kind of like the Iron Man Jarvis analogy, where you provide this AI assistant that has access to all the data instantly, which you don't, but combine it with a human who has the intuition and the business understanding, and together they can do stuff that's faster, more accurate, more complex, things that neither can do alone.
So typically you do a proof of concept, or and then scale, or are you doing a lot of proof of concept simultaneously?
At the moment, because the technology is not that mature, we're doing proofs of concept. In the non-generative AI space, I've banned POCs, because I say, let's build products, things people can use. But that technology is more mature, so you can do that. This stuff is so new, you don't know what the possibilities are until you actually build something. So we are doing a lot of POCs at this time.
So it's actually not even at the POC stage yet?
No, we have our first ones being built right now, and we're testing some of them. And some things you can just switch on some of the platforms that you have as well, and you can test.
So in general, for companies, not EasyJet, but other companies, do you think they should allow employees to use ChatGPT?
This is interesting, because we encourage people to use ChatGPT, but not for work stuff, because it's a good way to test the technology and get excited. But it's like open source. Like, would you put your company data on the internet for everybody to see and stuff like that. So yeah, be careful about what you use the public versions for. But internally, we'll build similar versions of that technology that they could use for.
Well, people like you know about the risk.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who tried ChatGPT and they have no idea that what they're putting in there is actually going backwards into the system.
Indeed, yeah, and it gets, for example, if you ask a question that's a business-specific one, it gives you a really good answer and helps you change your business. Your competitor can ask the same question and then ChatGPT will give them the answer because he got a thumbs up from you saying that was a good answer. So you lose your competitive edge then, and you can also give it data to kind of get an answer, and then that data is out there being used by other people. So
you might have a CEO doing that.
Yeah,
who doesn't know.
Indeed. Yeah, so one of the first things we did in our company is provide some guidance. As soon as it went out, ChatGPT, we provided guidance on, yeah, don't be scared of this. It's a great technology, but be careful on how you use it, be savvy in how you use it, and these are the things to look out for.
So over time, do you think everyone in the business community will be aware of those kinds of things, or is it just never going to happen?
100% is quite unlikely, but I think at least 80-20, 80% will be aware, I think. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be some disaster case that gets reported?
I hope not, but potentially. If not enough people are aware of the risks and they just go off and do stuff, you could have a disaster coming up, but hopefully people are more.
So a year from now, we're sitting here having this conversation. What are we going to, a year ago, by the way, no one predicted generative AI.
Indeed, yes, yeah.
So a year from now, what do you think? Generative AI version 2?
It's interesting, so generative AI still is not general intelligence. So artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence are different. Even still, ChatGPT and stuff are trained to do something specific, not just, here's the world, go learn and do anything. So maybe generative, artificial general intelligence might be the thing that we're talking about in a year's time, who knows?
Well, I look forward to that conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.